Listen, I know right now we're all talking about Eze. We're talking about Eze. We're talking about Boyhood Club. We're talking about Arsenal. We're talking about watching all Arsenal creators. We're watching Tottenham creators. We're talking about Tottenham's collapse. We're looking for all the channels, the banter, the laughter, to troll. We're doing all of that. But Manchester United, I can see you. I can see you. Others may not right now. But I can see you. Where are my centre mid signings? Where are my centre mid signings? Listen, you gassed us up with Baleba. Now, Baleba, that moment, I was excited. Yo, Baleba at Manchester United. This is brilliant. This is what we need. However, the Baleba thing has gone quiet now. Are you going to try and reignite it like Arsenal did with Eze? If you are, then listen, guys. I'll hold my hands up. However, I'm not hearing nothing right now. It's gone quiet. Manchester United cannot go this full season without signing a centre mid. If your ambition for Man United, because you were a bit encouraged and we are a little bit of positives from the from the Arsenal game, sorry. Yes, there was a bit of positives. Yes. But if you think and you have a little bit of optimism, thinking, oh, Man United might get top 5. Man United, can we sneak into the Champions League? Oh, yo, we whisper it, but we might have a better season than we expected. That all goes in the bin if Manchester United do not sign a centre mid. If Manchester United do not sign a centre mid, this season could go tits up. We need a CM. It's a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable. We did not just spend this whole summer just to sign attackers. We need a centre midfielder. And that centre midfielder, as I said, we need somebody that's athletic, that can get the ball off the back four, that can give us some composure in the middle of the park, that can dominate There's a few things that we need. I see we're linked to this Agomi player. I saw some of his tape. He looks okay. Lamine Kamara, that's somebody that I'm definitely interested in and moved by. But I hope it hasn't gone under the radar that we haven't signed a centre midfielder. It can't continue. We have to. You look at the Arsenal game, and in the things that you might have been impressed with. You might have been impressed with Mbumo. You might have been impressed with Cunha. You might have been impressed with Lenny Yoro, Dorgu. If you were impressed with Ahmad, maybe when he came on, took some players on. You might have been impressed with De Ligt. But not the middle of the park. The centre mid was still bleeding, bro. Bruno was absolutely stinking. I thought he was the worst player on the pitch. He was stinking. And you look at Casemiro. I don't think he was that bad. However, we need more in there. Man United play the football right now. We completely vacate the middle zone. We don't play through the middle. We play through the width. We don't at all. The midfield is non-existent. And then on transitions, it's very hard for them to get close because they're either very far away from each other or they haven't got the athletic ability to stop these transition runs at us. So we need a centre midfielder. Why do Manchester United as a football club ignore that position so much? We haven't replaced Paul Scholes. We haven't replaced Paul Scholes. We're in 2025. Scholes retired in 2013. We still haven't replaced Paul Scholes. I'm going to look at Manchester United centre midfield. Let me even get this up. Manchester United centre midfield signings since Fergie. We need to look at Manchester United centre midfielders since Fergie, bro. I don't even know if somebody's going to have that specifically. Because I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Herrera, Schneiderlin. Obviously, McTominay was in there. It wasn't a signing, but McTominay came through. Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, Matic. Kobe's obviously come through. Ugarte. Casemiro. Fellaini. Guys, help me out. Give me more. Give me more names. We still haven't replaced Paul Scholes and Michael Carrick And it's 2025. We're the only team in the league, only big team that don't prioritize center midfield. And I don't get why. Why don't we prioritize it? I know we're a club that are associated with transition, high-flying football, and, turn defense into attack. But people seem to think that the Ferguson way or Fergie way, United way under Fergie, we didn't control games. We controlled football matches. We still, at the end of every match, would have 60-70% possession. We controlled football matches. We probed. Teams still played low blocks against us, even though people seem to think low blocks only started these days. People used to play low blocks against us. We used to dominate teams. Did we used to play in a way that Man City do now, or the way Arsene Wenger teams did with the way they played in midfield? No. We did like to do things quickly, but we still had Paul Scholes in there, Roy Keane, Carrick, guys that can control the game, guys that are going to pass it, get it back, metronome, like in a metronome kind of fashion. We need that in our team. Casemiro's not that. Bruno's not that. And if we want to have any optimism, because I want to be optimistic about this season, Amorim or not, whatever, I want to be optimistic. I do think with this formation, it's hard to control games in that midfield. Not the formation, the way we do it, because we don't get players close enough to each other, right? However, if we want to have any sort of optimism, we need a profile in there. Baleba would have been perfect. I'm happy that we were looking at him, but it was very ambitious, of course, as we know. But we need a centre midfielder that can come in and do this type of job. We can't think about... Listen, okay, I found an article right now, right? Okay, so I found this article right now, yeah? Ranking every match. This was in 2023, though, so we can add on the players that obviously came after. Manchester United have signed ranking every midfielder. The fact that Casemiro comes second just explains it all. So, Bastian Schweinsteiger, Morgan Schneiderlin, Donny van der Beek. I don't know how they've got, bro. Donny van der Beek is probably our worst ever signing. If you actually deep it, he was anyway. Donny van der Beek, Nemanja Matic, Marouane Fellaini, Paul Pogba, Christian Eriksen. Them putting Christian Eriksen over Pogba is crazy, and Fred. That's crazy. That is crazy. Fred, Herrera, Casemiro, and Bruno Fernandes. Of course, that isn't good enough. And when you include not signings, but you include as I said, McTominay, Kobe Mainu, and some of these players that have come in. You obviously now Ugarte. We're way behind when it comes to centre midfield recruitment. We have to get that right. The midfield is the most important part of the pitch. It's the most important part of the pitch, people. The most important part. If you can't dominate in midfield, you've got... Your chances are so limited. Your chances are so limited. We need somebody that can come in and be serious in that midfield. Make us a feared team in that midfield. Make teams not want to come through the midfield. Or somebody that's going to get on the ball and make things happen. I still think Kobe Mainu can do that. I think he can play in that role. I've seen him play in the 6 role before, but probably more in a 3, which is why I'm concerned for him in this Amorim system. I don't think he's in favour. He's our best centre mid product we've produced since. I don't think we really produced Pogba, but if you want to say Pogba and obviously since Paul Scholes, centre mid product, and now he's not in favour. It's a cause for concern, but I'm not here to talk all about Kobe Mainu, but it's definitely a cause for concern that a player of that profile has no role in the team. You look at Ugarte, he's coming on before him. You look at Casemiro starting. You look at Bruno. Bruno, for me, not strong enough in the midfield, doesn't keep on the ball enough. He's someone that, he can create chances, but he's somebody that always wants to go forward. And when he does add that kind of calm to him, he basically like the creative side of his game completely reduces. He kind of starts playing at walking pace. When Bruno wants to control games, it's at walking pace. And then that element of his creativity and magic goes. So you have a dilemma there. Bruno, is he a better 10 than Cunha in that kind of role? Does he receive the ball in the half turn and run at people like Cunha can? Probably no. Can he create chances at high clip? Yes. But is he a 10 in that kind of system, half turns? No, not for me. Then in the centre midfield, does he control games? Is he good enough in the duels? Is he athletically high level elite enough? No. So then you got a dilemma with him. but he's a match winner. He's got the magic. So how do you find a way to get the best out of Bruno's strengths while hiding his weaknesses? Because right now, his weaknesses are on show, full show. So that's a concern for me. Ugarte, he is simply not good enough to be a Manchester United midfielder. I'm sorry. Tries hard. He's an honest guy, but he's not good enough. Casemiro's on his last legs. He tries his thing, but again, it's not what we require. So you look at our midfield four that I just mentioned there, all have question marks over them. Kobe's not in favour. Bruno, does he suit the role? Ugarte's not good enough. Casemiro's on his final legs. You don't really know what you're going to get from him week in, week out. But he'd be trying. He's not as bad as when it was like, hey, leave the football before the football leaves you. But hey, listen, guys, man, I'm concerned about that. Listen, I'm not going to let encouraging performance against Arsenal in a loss make me think that it's all good. It's not all good, people. It's not all good. We're going to learn more about ourselves against Fulham and Burnley than we did against Arsenal. The big games under Amram have been okay. They've been okay. We beat City. We got a result against Liverpool. We beat Arsenal at Emirates. Well, we won on penalties. It's been okay. I'm not that concerned about that. I'm more concerned about the Fulhams, the Brentfords, the Burnleys, the Nottingham Forest, these type of teams. Without a midfield, it's going to be too difficult. I think Fabregas said something so good about midfielders, right? Let me see if I can find the clip. Here we go. Here.
Field. That's why I like to have overload there. At the same time, I like to have a lot of width, with two players on the line, attacking the back line, threatening, pinging the fullbacks. I think it's very important, to give space on these sides for the number 10s that come to play between the lines. Because if you do that and you ping the two fullbacks, what will happen? That in midfield there will be obviously a little bit more space, and the other team is depending on the centre back jumping on your striker.
So he's talking about the importance of creating space.
The space for the other strikers, for the other winger. And
just waiting for his quote.
I don't like the fact that we only have to play football just because we have the ball and we want to play it around. The main objective, and we are trying to build this way and attack this way, is to attack here.
Where is the quote? There we go. It was at the very beginning. I wasted you guys' time. But listen, this is what he says. Just this quote right here.
60-70% of the battle won in a football game, it's in midfield.
Simple as that. You saw the rest of what he said. 60 to 70% of the battle in a football game is won in midfield. And this is one of the greatest midfielders I've ever seen saying that. We have to prioritize it. The best manager in the world right now, Pep, one of the GOATs, arguably the GOAT, if you put him as GOAT. Not mine, but arguably the GOAT. Midfield, controlling the principles that we know. Wenger, even we talk about Klopp's team dominated the midfield through energy, hard work, and transitional play. Where it wasn't in the they still controlled and dominated in that way. We have to find a way of dominating, whether we're going to be athletically, whether it's going to be technically, whatever. We need to win the midfield battles. I'm watching you, United. The transfer window, there's about 10 days left. Don't let us not get a centre midfielder, man. Listen, all the Eze stuff and all these transfers, I need a midfielder. I'm not going to sleep on that. I know we've all been looking, but hey, I looked over my shoulder. I said, hey, yo, what? You think I forgot about you? Nah, man. Guys, like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. It's your boy, CultureCams. Let me know what you think. Look, this club's giving me a spot. I woke up with a spot this morning thinking about no centre mids. Let me know, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Drop a comment. What's going to happen? What is your expectations if Manchester United don't sign a centre midfielder? We need to sign a centre midfielder, guy. I can't stress how important it is. Brilliant stuff to get those attackers in. Cunha and Mbumu, Sesko. But we need a centre mid. And we also need a goalkeeper. But right now, I'm focusing on the centre mid. Anyway, it's your boy, CultureCams. Like, share, subscribe, turn notification on. I'm out. Peace.